2015. We're going to do a review and breakdown of the interview. John Bowne forced himself to watch it. Now on Rotten Tomatoes, its rating is about 48% and dropping. It's as low as 33% on some of the other reviews. It is a true turd. I don't usually use juvenile potty humor colloquials, but that's what it is. When a rose is a rose, it's a rose by any other name. When something is an Obama dropping, it is an Obama dropping by any other name as well. So this is certainly a disaster. I've got one other story I want to hit that I just mentioned. Then we're going to go to John Bowne and his review, and then your phone calls for George and many others like Dee, Dan, Johnny, and Robert. We'll get to all of you before the transmission ends. My New Year's resolution is that I'm going to take oxy powder, time-released oxygen caplets that are proprietary, that release in the upper and lower intestine, the large and small intestine, and flush you out like nothing you've ever imagined. Painlessly, in my case. Other people say it's quite gentle. This is not like the toxic herbs, the stuff that's really not so much toxic, that's the wrong word. Harsh would be the word. This is truly amazing. It is the fastest results nutraceutical we have at InfoWarsLife.com, and your purchase supports the broadcast, the Survival Shield X2, the Colloidal Silver Bullet, the Super Mill Vitality. All of them are super high-quality products, the OcuPower, the DNA Force, and your purchase makes this whole operation possible. But really, they're amazing products. We only come out with the most pure, groundbreaking, hardcore products at InfoWarsLife.com. You can also call toll-free 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and we can answer all your questions and take your order over the phone. I want to thank you all for your support as well, going into this new year and throughout the holidays. 888-253-3139. The average person takes 4 caplets a day. A bigger man, 6 or 7. Rob Dew lost 12 pounds in 1 week of stuff that was rotting inside of him. I don't want to get into details here. In fact, I'm putting CJ on the spot while I'm plugging. CJ, I can't see through the window. Is he on the board?
I'm here.
Tell folks what happened when you took oxy powder.
I took 5 caplets a night, and it didn't really have to wake up at night or anything to have a break, but woke up that morning and did the typical routine multiple times a day, and had to go through a couple different belt sizes to to get my pants to stay on.
How many belt sizes did you lose? How fast?
I guess it was 2 notches in about a week. Yeah.
I would go, tubing with Rob Dew, his wife, my family, and Rob's, in good shape. I mean, no fat on him, but like a lot of guys that are in good shape, have big muscles, he had a little belly sticking out.
That was me.
That's not just your intestines in there are just big. You're full of you-know-what. Full of rotting food, folks. And I'm telling you, it's sensational. Try it out for yourself. 888-253-3139. And give it to your friends and family. And it's a 6-day regimen. You can go longer if you want. Dramatic. I do it every few months now. And I got up to almost 280, 279 pounds. I'm down to about 220 right now. And I'm very soon, I've just been too busy, I'm going to do a shirt-off shoot. And show me about 4 years ago when I took my shirt off as a joke, saying, here, IRS, you can have this too. We're going to show that versus now. So I've still got some inflammation from allergies and puffiness in my face. But, I mean, it's just dramatic. My stomach's 90% gone. I'm working out the same as I always was, and just the nutraceuticals and the oxy powder have done wonders. Now, I mentioned this story. Obama creates the, quote, truth of his agenda. Why does Obama come up with such quick judgments on news events and make them public? This is a story at LouRockwell.com, up on Infowars.com. Why does Obama come up with such quick judgments on news events and make them public? Whether it's the downing of MH17, the use of chemical weapons in Syria, the death of Michael Brown, or the hacking of Sony, Obama hastily tells everyone what happened, even though he cannot possibly know what has happened. Why does he do this? In each case, he clearly has an agenda that he wishes to promote. He has his ulterior motives. ulterior. He wants to use the events to advance his political agenda. And then the article goes through it. It's a good little short article. And I know this is simple to most people, but for folks not paying attention, it just becomes reality. The president tells you global warming's real and it's man-made. It's true. The president tells you you didn't build your business. It's true. The president tells a black lady he's going to get her a house, even though he doesn't. It's true. The Obama says it's basically racist, police. It must be true. This is the propaganda system. We know the Russians shot down this plane with no proof. Day one. How suspicious is that? I was like, well, it might be the Russians, but I'll sure tell you that they don't have a motive. That's what this comes down to. And when this Sony thing broke 2.5 weeks ago, I said, yeah, probably a false flag to promote the movie. They'll say they're not going to release it, then they will. They just bypassed the theaters to a pure profit margin of $14.99 and reportedly had hundreds of thousands of downloads the first day. I don't know what it is now. It's going to end up being hugely profitable, they project, even though it has one of the worst ratings ever recorded for a major movie on major platforms. IMDb, you name it. Now, we're going to go to John. Let's turn his mic on. John Bound here was up here working today, getting some video clips together. He's seen the whole movie. I said, instead of me playing a few clips, you've seen it. Investigative journalist John Bound puts together a lot of the video reports you see. I said, come on in and tell us your take on it. But now it's come out that the FBI said day one, looks like an inside job, and that it was a hack attack out of Japan, at least bouncing the hacks off that through computers there, and not North Korea, who were not defending. We just go with the truth. So they get to burn people in Hollywood they don't like, make Clooney look like an angel. Obama gets to defend the First Amendment and stand up against censorship when he's doing the opposite in the real world. There's a lot of motives here, but talking about it, the film itself, John Bound has now seen it. We have some clips we're going to play. John Bound, you have the control tower. Give us your review.
Well, you mentioned Sony. The hack in Sony was, it revealed that Sony was well aware that this movie was going to be a total bomb. So what better way to do it than to have the President of the United States come out and, before he goes on his 17-day vacation in Hawaii, to make himself look good, to say, hey, I'm standing up for the First Amendment. Well, the reason this movie is so painful to watch is because it doesn't feel good to you from the beginning. There's so much wrapped around it. And a lot of the stuff that's the onion of this movie involves the interior attack of the Chinese on our Hollywood media system. What is his name? Wang Jilin, a billionaire Chinese businessman, owns AMC, which is the second largest chain here in the United States.
And they were the ones that told them don't release Red Dawn until a year later to take the Chinese out.
Yeah, so this is the...
So there's the real issue.
Yeah, this is the next step in their propaganda. And as you well know, China and Russia were very...
So you're saying in the film they throw it in their face that China runs us?
Well, in the beginning of the film, in this first clip, I called it The Mission, they take Seth Rogen, who wrote and co-directed the film, and they take him to a rural part of China to give him his mission for North Korea, which another part about North Korea and China that no one's seeing is that North Korea is basically China's little brother that they hand billions of dollars of aid to every year.
And they border them.
Biggest ally, they border them, and they hate Japan. So, North Korea is as close to Japan as you're going to get. And so in this first clip, The Mission, we get an idea of where Seth Rogen, the writer and creator, and James Franco, or Flacco, as Obama called him. I wonder if that was staged right there. But you get an idea of what the mission is, how clueless they are, and how much of a part of the Hollywood system they are, and what they're getting themselves into.
Let's go to that clip.